Hello guys, and welcome to another edition of Rage Against the Dice. Today is the next part in our Dracula's America hobby diary. Now, I do apologise, the whole house worth of stuff going on. I've got a dryer in the background because it's the one wet day that we've had so far. I've got my youngest playing PlayStation in the background, and then we've got food cooking as well. So it's an absolute nightmare, but this was the only chance I had to get this video filmed, so I'm filming it now. As I said, it's a little bit of an update on my Dracula America hobby diary. Last time we saw, I was painting the skin on all my models. Now, the skin is finished on all 7 that I'm painting up now. I've actually, of course, got a lot more that will be getting painted up all together, as you guys probably recall from the previous edition, if you guys actually took the chance to watch it. I don't know if you did. If not, I'll pop the link in the description below so you can check out the full playlist. I have, as you can see in front of you, finished the 2 vampires, and I'm partway through working on the rest, so we're going to have a talk about them in a little bit, and then I'm going to do a little bit more on the model that I'm currently working on. So, as you guys may or may not remember, who my faction is and what I'm doing, I'll give you a quick recap, as well as a little more story information. Now I've started to flesh out my characters. Flesh, vampire, yeah, it works, trust me. You will have to bear with me as well. I have a slight case of monkey plague. It's not the coronavirus, it's just monkey plague, I guess. But yeah, so I've been a bit hectic with the painting recently. Anybody who follows our channel on Instagram or Twitter will have seen there's been models going up for all kinds of games. Judge Dredd, Fallout, loads of zombie stuff, The Walking Dead, and the other diary I'm doing, which is called Zombie City. But yeah, so this is my leader of my vampires. And she was a former madam who was lucky enough to own her own brothel. When vampires came into town, they took a shining to her. A shine, not a shining. It's not a Stephen King novel. They took a shine to her and they turned her into a vampire. And they actually run their whole sort of vampire coven, or this little part of their vampires is, of course, the Red Hand Coven is mine. I just realised I was going to tell you that and I hadn't. But yeah, so this little group of the Red Hand Coven, that are my vampires, they actually run out of the brothel. So of course, what did they have to do? They had to turn the people who work in the brothel, and it's perfect because it's a good place to feed and stuff like that. So yeah, she's the leader. She was the madam. She's obviously got airs and graces. She's got herself, she looks fancy. She's got herself 2 gold pistols. It's said that the part of her hair that turned white actually happened when she first realised that the person she was with was a vampire. When he revealed himself, it frightened her so much that part of her hair turned white. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. I just wanted to break up the black on the model but still keep it that kind of gothic-y aesthetic. Same reason I've gone with like the pink roses, one down there and one there, and why I've given like a little bit of gold on the fastener there and the guns are gold, just to give it a little bit more something. Now, this was her top. If this was WWF wrestling in the 2000s, it would be their top hoe, but we're not like that. So this was her top working girl, her doxy. Would that work? Yeah. This was, and so she was the first vampire of the working girls that was created, and she's an absolute badass. And once again, sticking with the black and red, I gave the little belt, I did that in brown, and then I did the little sleeves white just to break up that a bit. And again, she's got the pink rose. So any ones that have flowers in this this little gang, they're all gonna be pink, just to break it up a little bit. So where we're at now, I'll just move those out of the way. These 4, these are just normal guys. As you can see, the skin's done on him, but nothing else. He's going to stay pretty similar. He's going to obviously, of course, have blacks and greys. The scarf's going to be red. He's going to have mutton chops and things like that. This guy is going to be all in black. He's very much the man in black of this group. This guy, again, the skin's been done. Now, you'll notice that these skins aren't as pale as the vampires, because, of course, these aren't vampires. Those two girls were. There's this one here. So you can see there's a good mix of males and females within this. And then this is the one I'm currently working on. And she's obviously got the black trousers and the black waistcoat with the red shirt underneath. Now, you can't see it very well here. But she has been highlighted up the trousers and the waistcoat and the bowler. So I'm going to do the shirt now. Of course, I've given it 2 coats of red, and the red itself was Methystone red. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a coat of Agrax Earthshade. Now, depending on what kind of red I want, I tend to just use a wash. I use Methystone red as my base red most of the time, and depending on whether I want a rich red or a dark red, I'll either go Agrax to give it that darker colours to it. If I want it very rich, I'll give it a Flesh wash, a Reichland Flesh, or then of course I've got, and you can tell this is old and I don't use it very often because it's in a small pot still, Carroburg Crimson, which is a red. I use that more for things like with the lipsticks on the 2 vampires and things like that. I've gone with that kind of red because it's a very bright, kind of very specific red. It's nice, it's very purpley kind of red. It's good. But yeah, so I'm going to be back in a second. We're going to do the wash on the sleeves on this, and then we'll do a little bit more just for variety because they're not vampires. She's going to have brown hair instead of black, but it's still going to be quite a darkish brown. So I'll be back in a second. So I would like to give a bit of a shout out actually. In a previous video, I couldn't remember who told me, but I'd been having problems getting the camera to autofocus, and someone username Raymond Waggett, I don't know if that's his real name, but it's a properly class name. Oh, I went way Geordier than normal there. But he told me if it's to do with the camera I'm using trying to focus when it's too far away. So I've been moving the camera and I've been doing some tests, and that's been a lot better. As you can, as it says there, as it goes blurry again. Yeah, so let's get down further. There you go. So, like I said, I'm giving it just a nice wash. I mean, I want it to be kind of this red when it's done. So I don't want it to go too dark, but by the same token, I don't want it to be ridiculous. Trying out some new brushes. These new brushes will be coming up in a potential, because obviously I film a lot of the brush reviews at the same time, so depending on when this goes up compared to the brush review, it could be soon, it could be ages, but the brushes will be coming up. But I'm really enjoying doing these little diary things. I like chatting to you guys. I guess I'm just waffling off my thoughts and stuff, but it's nice. A lot of the time I'm kind of just talking to myself at home anyway, because you know, it's not like anyone with children will know, it's not like they're hugely responsive unless they want something. So yeah, so it's nice to have a quick chat with people. Now while this is still wet, what I'm doing is I'm adding a tiny little bit of the crimson. And that's by design. As I said, I want it to kind of just mix in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for that to dry, and then we're going to highlight up the red. Now this isn't going to be a big video by any stretch. I just really wanted to get some content out on this so you guys knew I was still plodding along with it. I wanted to show that I'd actually finished a couple of the models and give you a bit more of the backstory. Now I've started to kind of work it out. I'm excited to say that Sparks has got his models now, and I think Vince has found some of his, but some of them are currently locked down at our gaming club, so you can't get to them to have a look. But his is a mix of Wild West Exodus and Malifaux, I believe, and Sparks is... I've completely forgotten. He has told me, and they do look awesome, but I can't remember where they're from. So yeah, I will let you know though in a future video. So I'm going to leave this to dry, and when I come back, we'll highlight it up, and then we can get her done. I'm excited to get them all done, actually. I think they'll all tie together really, really nicely. Now, with the vampire, you will notice that I didn't go for red eyes or anything like that. With her... Let's get it. I've got it so the hat basically shelters the eyes completely, and I assume that's what she does. She uses the hat to really take attention away. And with her, I really wanted to do the eyes red, but because I want to use these models for other Western-based games, I don't know, being a stoner wasn't really the same kind of thing back then, so you couldn't get away with the red eyes. Same reason I've not had any blood or anything to them. My vampires are clearly hiding in plain sight. But yeah, anyway, we'll let this dry. So right, guys, I'm going to try get this filmed. It's going to be a bit of a crazy one because my boys are all about eating and stuff. So again, I'm trying a different set of new brushes here. And maybe this is not the right model to be doing that with. But yeah, so you know what is really difficult, guys, is using the viewfinder to actually paint. But if I don't, I end up getting like half my model done to realise that the whole thing was out of focus. Can probably hear the youngest in the background just whispering away, probably giving his brother rubbish. So yeah, guys, kind of the effect, as I said, that I want to go for with this whole gang really is to really lean into the blacks and the reds and the stereotypical gothic horror. And I want it to have that kind of feel to it. But yeah, it's almost sort of stereotypical in its colour palette that I'm using. Like, these people are vampires, and they are, well, they're not hiding in plain sight really, are they? Because given the setting that it's in. But yeah, they're just out and boldly sort of, we're vampires, we wear blacks and reds. See, I'm quite liking that so far. I'm probably going to add just a little edge highlight. Now, you'll have noticed on the other ones that the highlights, they aren't sort of in-your-face kind of highlights, and that's because I wanted them to be in keeping with my other Western models, which have a much more natural kind of flavour to them. And so, although they do still have edge highlighting, it's not your sort of comic book style that you would usually see. But I do quite a lot anyway. I like to go for the bright highlights on some of my stuff. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this one here for today. Next part of the video, she should have already been finished, and we'll move on to some of the others. Maybe because you've got the man in black. Let's start that sentence again. So we have the man in black, who obviously will be black in terms of his color palette on his clothing. So I haven't showed off how I do my blacks for things like clothes and stuff like that, especially when working on trying to keep it as realistic as possible. So I think he'll be the next one we paint. I'll also hopefully be able to update you on exactly which models it is Sparks is using, and if I can get him to send me across some photos, I'll put them at the end of the next video as well. Same with Vince. But yeah guys, I'm going to leave it at that for now. Hopefully you're still enjoying the Dracula's America videos. This was just a very, very quick one. I'm now going to go off camera so my children can shout and scream as they normally would, because, you know, kids. But yeah guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Are you guys building up your own Dracula's America stuff? If you are, let me know. What do you think of the colour scheme and stuff so far? Or any improvements you think I should make? But yeah guys, thank you so much for watching. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, share us with friends and family, hit that bell for notifications and all that other YouTubey stuff that I'm obligated to tell you at the end. But no, it really does help out our channel if you can share the love. Yep, so take care guys. Pray the dice gods to hope to smile upon you, and stay safe. Bye.